at you from I'm here in Layton, Utah, and I've lived here for about 4 years. Oh, and I'm a hot mess. I'm a hot mess because I'm coming at you live today, and I watched some training yesterday from a mentor who went from zero to her first million in 17 months, and then by the year mark of 2 years, some several months later, she hit the 2 million mark, and oh, her training is outstanding and it's amazing, and I have access to it without paying additional coaching fees and without paying for monthly installment plans, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I bought into a system that she created it's just over a month ago, and I've been working on refining my message and trying to nail down my perfect customer, someone that I want to serve, someone who's where I once was, and to what would I tell them and how would I get them to where I am now if they knew what I knew. And that is who I'm looking to serve. And as I reflect from that training, one of the things that she said yesterday was that you got to find your message. And I've heard other people say your mess is your message. And you got to find your message and who you want to serve, and you don't change it. And that really hit home because and there's another idea I want to share from her too, but that the idea really hit home because as I reflect for the past year and a couple months since I started this online journey, I have changed my messaging. I've changed my titles of my podcasts from Jesus is the Mark um, to what else have I had? Disciples Prosper to Wise Men Prosper to um, I just have had many messages. The heart of all of it is similar. The heart of all of it is essentially to turn your life over to Christ and allow Him to make you one with God. That's all resonated the same. But as I moved from Wise Men Prosper to Disciples Prosper, my intention was to say more succinctly who I wanted to serve, which were disciples of Christ. Because and when I was saying wise men prosper, it was more of a, it took more of an explanation to get to the point of someone who wants to follow their Christ. But when I did that, I narrowed down who I'd like to serve. Um, and because where I was before I was 18, before I gave my life to the Lord, I thought I was a pretty wise guy. But in terms of the world, when you're 16 years old and you feel like you know more than your parents, at least I did, and felt like you knew more than your teachers, and yet, as someone striving to become wealthy, working in a franchise system, or whatever means it took to get there in an ethical manner, I was looking for that, aiming for that. And then the Lord, when I had that impression given to me that He could make more of my life than I could, and I said, let Him I will, and I turned everything to Him. He enhanced everything, enhanced my sight, sound, ability to give and to contribute, got me on a mission to Outer Mongolia, got me into college. Like He transformed everything, got me married in the house of the Lord, got me a posterity of six beautiful children, and He just has blessed me and blessed me and blessed me. So I don't want to close off people that haven't turned their life over to the Lord yet, but I do want to sincerely invite those that are truth seekers, that are looking for the good in the world and want more of it. They're hungry and thirsty for truth. And because people that live what they know are going to be given more. And the whole idea is for us to work together and to make a better place for this world. And for example, one of the things I've been working on today, and news flash news alert here, I have I've shut down my disciplesprosper.com website, and I'm changing my name. And this next one I'm planning to stick with, and because it encapsulates what we want to tackle here. But I want to share my screen with you for a moment to just give you a taste of the little blog that I have. Nothing fancy here, nothing out of this world. You know, I just copied and pasted a few things and didn't. You know, an editor helped me with the visual that you'll see displayed here, but like that was, I don't know, probably 8 months ago or more. So I'm tying it all together, and just to give you a taste of where I want to go. And so this is my blog that I have right now. It is available right now, um, but it only has the one entry, and there will be more to come. And but then when that blog name, when I remove the blog tag after the domain name and leave just the domain name, that's going to be my new landing page to invite people to learn from this automated system that I've been learning from so that they can share their message with the world. So again, I'm a hot mess today, and I'm hoping and planning to by tomorrow afternoon's live to have that website up and going. And you know, I got to spend the evening with my family tonight, and but tomorrow I'll tackle that in the morning and do this. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. So let me pull up my share my screen here and show you a taste into my to my blog that I've got going on. Let's go here to window, and let's go here to, so I'm going to wisemenprosper.com/JITM. See if that gives it. Oh, it's there. Hot diggity dog. Okay, so let me turn that on. Window, share. So just a little introduction into the direction I'm headed, and I'm super excited about this. So the title of the blog is "Jesus is the Mark, Discover the Power of Godliness." Oh, that's a book in and of itself, that statement there, or the title and subtitle. And the thing that I have here, just as the landing page of, not the landing page, but on the front page of the blog, is a quote here from a book called The Power of Truth. And in this book, excuse me, that was written by William George Jordan in 1902, he says the following: "The world needs a great religious trust, which will unite the churches into a single body of faith." What is that faith? Faith in Jesus Christ, making Jesus Christ the focal point of our lives and turning our lives over to Him so that He can make more of us than we can on our own. One of the leaders that I've read, I have almost all of his 31 books collected. In one of them, he says the following: if the world lived by just one rule that Jesus Christ taught, that the golden rule or the law of the boomerang, or do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, if we all lived that one rule, in 30 days, the world would be transformed. Oh, I love that. I love that. So what we need to find, this single item that will unite us as a body. And I believe that to be making Jesus the mark. When you make Him the mark of your life, you strive to live His teachings, and you strive to be aligned with the will of the Father, as He was. In so much that He tells us in John chapter 10, verse 30, that He and God were one. Yes, one. In another place, someone came up to Him to flatter Him and said, "Oh, good master." And He's like, "Oh, hey, there's none good save God." And essentially said, "I do nothing save what I saw the Father do." And in the Book of Mormon, it says that Jesus, He says, "My gospel is, I came here to this earth to do the will of my Father." And then a few verses later, He says, "What manner of man ought ye to be? Verily, even as I am." So this making Him the mark and the focal point is like a target, like the bullseye. Put the blinders on. One of my favorite professors at Brigham Young University, a religious professor, Joseph Fielding McConkie, he put it this way. He said, "You are either an agent for Christ or you're not." Like, And going along the lines of what I brought up, I believe it was yesterday or the day before in the live, where I said there's a good, better, best that a lot of people talk about. No, there's either you're a disciple of Christ or you're not. And if you're a true seeker, then I would suggest that you are following Christ, because Christ, when he was born as a baby, did not have all this almighty glory. And he wasn't a glorified being who knew everything. He, like you and me, had to learn how to walk, had to learn how to talk, how to learn how to communicate. But that commenced his journey for the next 30-ish years, where he grew in stature before man and before God, and learned. He learned, just like you and I need to learn and grow in truth. We need to receive light, live it, and then when we live it, we have the fruit of living it, and then it becomes truth to us. And as we cleave to the truth and the good, and push off or forsake the darkness, because the more light you're filled with, the more this darkness has no place in you. You essentially forsake it. You forsake your previous ways that you knew were not right as you learn further light. And as you do that, you draw closer and closer to God, which is, and the way to God to take it to the next level is through the Lord Jesus Christ. He was the one that was perfect. He grew in light and truth in a perfect manner, without error. And we likewise can grow perfection upon perfection, but we've made a mistake already in our life, haven't we? And as a result of that, we need a redemptive power to help us overcome the weakness. I love how it's put in the book of Moses in the Pearl of Great Price. It says that we're essentially born and conceived in sin, and eventually sin enters our heart. And what is sin? We learn in the Doctrine and Covenants that sin is when you hear the voice of the Lord and put it off, and you don't do it. So, and when we hear that voice, whether it be from someone being kind to us, whether that be from a powerful book such as James Allen's or William George Jordan's or the Bhagavad Gita or the Quran, like there's so many amazing books out there. Like as we learn and glean truths from these amazing books out there, we draw closer and closer to the Lord. And when we live, not just read and study about them, but live the actual principles, then we're given a special power. A power, as Ralph Waldo Emerson puts it, that when you do the thing, the power to do the thing comes. But if you don't do the thing, the power doesn't come. So what I'm trying to say is that no matter who you are, whatever race, whatever background, whatever color of skin, whatever it is, we're all sons and daughters of the Almighty God. There's one God. And as we draw closer to him by living the truth and the light that we have access to, and making that truth as a seeker of capital T truth, even to seek to know God, or as Gandhi put it, moksha, the self-realization, he says, to see God face to face. When we make that our pursuit to seek truth, that is what we call here in this quote, a religious trust which will unite the churches into a single body of faith. Like when we start loving and serving one another, we look beyond these man-made lines in the sand, and we begin to see each other as we really are. So that's been that's my explanation for today, my hot mess. And I'm looking forward to getting the new site up tomorrow so that you can have access to a blueprint that will show you how to master a 2-hour workday, which I'm working on mastering myself. And when you're, by doing the 2 hours of production, content, digital marketing to promote your message, your product, your business, your brick and mortar, whatever it may be. And if you don't have one of those things, you can promote the automated system. And in my case, I have a message that I want to share, and I utilize the automated system to fuel, or shall I say, to fund the needs for my family and to fund the need for, or the opportunity for me to share what I know with other people so that they can catapult and get to where I am if before they're 50 years old, and or sooner in their life than they would if they didn't have that information. So I'm grateful to be here today, and this life is so wonderful. And for so many years, I've been held back by thinking, what can I share with other people? How can I help other people when who's going to listen to me when I don't have $1 million in the bank account? But as you may have seen on some of my material, I have a beautiful family, and I've been deeply, deeply blessed in many areas of my life, and I'm grateful for the automated system that is enabling me to provide for my family so I can continue to serve more, putting my 2-hour workday in and then getting lost in the service of others. Oh, it's so wonderful. The word intoxicating comes to my mind, but not in a drug manner, but in a, a magnification or enthusiasm, or the Spirit of the Lord just filling you with joy, and in a manner that helps you to understand and hear the word of the Lord, um, on receiving many revelations daily. So you all have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining this live today. Let's go out and make a difference in the world. Let's unite it, and let's check out my blog at wisemenprosper.com/JITM, for short for Jesus is the Mark. And I look forward to creating more content on that blog, but until I get this other automated system up and running, I'm going to hold off on that for the next day or so. So we can do this. We can help lift other people. We can make others' loads lighter by sharing what we have, sharing the light we have, so that we could lift others. And at the same time, while we're doing that, we can take the time to learn from other people's light, because we all, as Emerson put it, we all, if you're to meet any single person throughout this earth, they're going to be your superior in one talent or another. And if we had that learning mentality and loving mentality to learn from one another, regardless again of faith or religions or race or color or nation or nationality or state, whatever it may be, wow, wouldn't it be a beautiful place? Yes, that is what we're talking about. As the Book of Mormon phrasing, hoping for a better world, a better world where we serve and love and lift one another. That's the desire of my heart. All right, have a beautiful day. Thank you.